Welcome to the Irving Art Center's Gallery Spotlight Series. My name is Benjamin Muñoz, and I'm going to talk to you today about some prints that I have currently on display at the Irving Art Center. This is a piece titled Illegal Human. It's the first in a series of 6 that I call The Endless Endeavor. It discusses the history of my family coming to the U.S. from Mexico City and ends with my daughters and explores the generations in between. So let's jump in. So down here, starting at the bottom, this is a Tlaloc vessel. Tlaloc is a Aztec god. Mexica people, which are Aztec. Aztec is a colonial term, but they called themselves Mexica people. And you can see right here that the vessel is standing or resting on top of one cave surrounded by 6 others, right? So there's 7 caves. The Mexica people had a creation story that all life came from one cave. And within that cave was 7 sub-caves. And those were the 7 sort of tribes in the region of Mexico. So I did that to sort of illustrate like ancestors and a place to come from. Whenever you have people sort of immigrate across borders and countries, there's a lot of history that's lost and you don't really know where you came from, who they were, things like that. So I wanted to honor ancestors at the beginning of this story, but without knowing much about them, I kind of went into kind of a more abstract approach of just talking about the history of the region, of the people that I know where we came out of. So the Tlaloc vessel that represents that. Coming out of this, you can see a fist with a t-shirt wrapped around it. This is in reference to my grandfather. When my grandfather came to this country, he swam across the border and swam across the Rio Grande. So he was going across, and what he did was he got to the river, and then he took all of his clothes off and then wrapped them around his hand so that when he waded through the water, when he came out to the other side, he would be dry. So as he's walking through the water, the current is so strong that it wiped his underwear right off. So he came into the country like butt naked. And I've always thought that was he told me that story when I was like in middle school, so I thought it was really funny. But as an adult, I think about it, and it's actually kind of beautiful. It's almost like a baptism of sorts, coming into this country with literally nothing, and then like putting it on. So this is his fist, and then wrapped around it is his shirt. Behind it is the Mexican flag, and then in front of it is the U.S., sort of symbolizing coming into this thing. And then as you go further up, it just continues to have imagery that represents his life, the things that he liked to do as far as garden, what he did for a living, how he made money when he came to the States. The armadillo at the top signifies land wealth. They tend to dwell in larger rural areas. The border around is a small piece of tile. My grandfather sold Saltillo tile and ran a company called International Tile. That's where, that's how he provided for his family, which are, his kids are my parents, and where all of that came from. And as a kid, I remember growing up, going to the office where he sold the tile, and me and all my other cousins would mess around driving on the forklift and like moving stuff and putting things there. And I just kind of wanted to illustrate that. And after he passed away, everybody kind of, grabbed little things here and there. And one of the things that I ended up with was a little decorative piece of tile. There was a display in the store back when he was still alive, and when the store was running. So this is actually like the actual tile that I referenced and redrew and put it in there. And I wanted to have that there. I thought that was like a nice way to tie it up. But this is the first in a series of 6. And this kind of just discusses him, him coming to the States, what his life represented. And then the series continues to move through there. And yeah, I hope you come out and see the show and have a chance to visit the Irving Art Center. And I hope you continue to join us watching this Spotlight series. And yeah, bye. See you next time.